you get too much information, people will say that's too much. But erring on the good side, extra information always helps.
So we're just gonna drop this a little bit to say thank you to Susan. Susan needs to leave.
I'm leaving it.
And we thank you very much for coming and sharing. And somebody's gonna accompany you to the
Yeah.
front, right?
Yep.
It's the PTC picking you up?
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
Thank
Nice
you
seeing
so
you,
much.
David.
Good to see you
Yeah,
again, Susan.
yeah.
Let's go sit.
Hi, everybody. Let's go sit.
We've been trying to coordinate on sailing for a while.
All right, so that's very important to know when you have a patient such as David and then to understand the level of perception of the environment. So that's very helpful. Also, if you would live in a perfect world, what would you hope for the technology to bring about? Would you be implanted with a technology that will give you any possibility to see some light perception?
Well, I already have light perception, so it'd have to be acuity for sure.
It has to be acute.
Right.
So I just read about.
And if you can't drive,
Yeah, but you can have a driverless car.
that's one thing, right? But that doesn't exactly help tell you which metal's which, right? So
What do
speaking
you
of which,
mean?
where did the metals go?
Right over here. So wasn't looking at it.
That's not how you drive.
Still going around.
Yeah, that's
Still going
the-
That requires acuity or technology, right? And once again, the technology.
If you had a driverless car, you wouldn't have it just to take you around?
The advantage of having a driverless car, after all my years of taking buses and public transit and stuff like that.
You like the human touch.
Well, that's good, but a driverless car will get you to the campground, the lake, or the mountains where public transit won't get you,
Ah,
right? So there's places where public transit you can't get to, so yes.
what's in there for you that you're hoping from the future?
Probably the driverless car would be the best thing.
That's your independence.
Yeah, I do pretty well with the rest of the stuff.
So who cooks for you?
This is hockey.
That is sailing.
That's sailing. This is hockey.
Parking.
Who
So-
cooks for me?
Yeah.
I do
How do you cook?
very well.
You need to invite me for dinner, so I understand.
Right, but you gotta bring the baking.
I bring the baking.
Yes, you do that. I know that. So, so cooking, you can accomplish in a couple of different ways. For example, if you're cooking meat, it generally starts off mushy, and when it's done, it's firm.
It's firm.
And, you know, we all have the smart devices,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
YouTube videos.
Right.
There's tons of stuff saying, you know, sear it for 1 minute on each side, plus then 4 minutes, and you can set timers on your phone or whatever. So there's all the instructions are out there, you know. You know, my son decided to change his own transmission a couple of years ago because there was a YouTube videos on it.
I see.
And he had stuff like where he works.
So your things in the house have to be in exact same place for you to know where they are,
That helps, yes.
right?
Yeah,
You don't stumble.
living with
on
a family of ADHD types, things tend to get scattered all over the place. It was really chaotic.
Right.
So, yeah,
What do you want us to know from you that will help people, future situations like yours, that will bring them some hope and, you know, things that will help them?
as future opticians.
Yes.
One, you can all sign up for an app called Be My Eyes. There's an app out there, and blind people can point it at some sort of device, like maybe a wash machine that isn't well labeled. I've got a toaster oven that the cleaning lady decided to clean off all of the writing on it. So, if there's something that isn't tactile and isn't well defined, Be My Eyes will actually use my phone's camera and take pictures and stuff and send it to volunteers that sign up as sighted volunteers on the Be My Eyes app. It also has an AI function. So I could have taken a picture of the medals with Be My Eyes, and within 5 seconds, it'll come back and say, figure out what it can read. Yes, it's a medal or something like that. I use that quite often for picking out shirts. If I can't tell by the feel what they are, or if I got 3 or 4 that are the same or similar, I can use that to take a picture. It'll describe colors of shirts and things. But if things just don't work out, or maybe your slow cooker or whatever has a LED that doesn't show up well because of the contrast, you can use Be My Eyes, call a friend kind of thing. And volunteers like you that sign up for Be My Eyes can then see through my camera or take a picture for better resolution with my camera and say, oh, here's the cooking instructions, or here's what it says. So helping out, great. As future opticians, especially if you have somebody with low vision, determine how low it is, if it's getting worse, whether or not they should go to see the doctor, and being like Dorina, being willing to take on challenging cases, right? The non-normal challenging things, finding resources, special glasses types that are not easy. It took us
A few tries.
how long to get those lenses with the transitions?
Yes, not many people want to do them, so.
With that, and I think I was still using the cataract lenses
Yes,
at the
yes,
time. So a
yes.
cataract lens in which had to be small, which had to go into those indestructible frames with transitions coating.
Yes, they had to have.
You did a lot of hunt and seek
A lot of secret
for
hunting,
for a few months to find
because
those.
everybody is moving into what is worth carrying, and then specialty items are hard to find. And whenever there is an out of range item, like such as his, we're not making this. So, it becomes a matter of cost and time and consumption to just get a pair of glasses for somebody to have the reminiscent of the sight to be used.
I think
So-
there was maybe 1 or 2 places in all of North America to source that.
Because I source them in the States. Yeah.
Yep.
So, specialty labs, but understanding the reminiscent of the site is what matters, and, helping. And also having a phone call, even right now my glasses are rental, then I go to his home and then take them and fix them, so. Things like that. But anyway, so that's very good, but what was, the unity between professions, like, I think in my opinion, working at the Vision Institute where we had optometrists and me, the optician there, I think it was the best thing, because I had a very good cooperation, understanding your file, your site, your predicament, your entire situation. It was
Because you had access to
because
the
I had
medical.
access to the medical information, yeah.
Right, but if you don't work with an optometrist and don't have that,
Yeah,
then you need to ask questions and get
exactly.
all the information, and if it's too intrusive, people will tell you, so you can ask questions. And if it's too intrusive, or if it's, a traumatic life event that they would rather not relate or relive, they might say no. But, if it's important for you to help them, you can explain why and how, and then people will
Right.
probably help.
And, well, I think
We cover everything you wanted
I
to
think
cover?
we did cover.
There's one thing we didn't cover.
I think we didn't cover the super acute level of hearing that you have. But when there are situations such as yours, like a traumatic event like you had, some people are affected not just by visual means, but also other body parts and other sensory parts. So I think overall, you were saved by the chance of not having other traumatic events in your body rather than the most important side. That you didn't have your hearing
That was an explosion, so I lost about 20-30% of the hearing in one ear.
how did you recoup that? Because you have a very strong sense of hearing. Did you train
I
your
guess
sense of
you
hearing?
kind of have to, right? If you're not sight dependent,
Right,
then you focus on the senses that you do have left. So it's not that your hearing gets better, you just focus it more, right? And you do the best with what you have, right? And because of my retina being so messed up in the left eye, you know, when you rub your eyes, you see stars? My left eye is like that all the time. So over time, brain has to ignore that.
so let's review this part, like if for example, you have in your case, you have a pair of glasses made with a fogged out lens in the left eye, is that disturbing for you?
No, because I can't see it in my left eye.
Right, but you have, so you don't sense the light.
We just put a balancing in the
Just a
left eye to
balancing
keep the
for
lenses
your
balanced.
senses, right?
Yeah.
Right. Some people have described to me that if the prescription in the right eye is unequal with the prescription in the left eye, just for the sheer sense of not putting the right type of lens, they have a memory feeling of sight loss. It's just like cutting a hand, a limb, and you still have the memory of the limb. So this is how it was described to me. So I ended up putting both lenses the same power, just for the sake of it, for the sake of balance, weight, looks, and the impression that there is some sight there.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, that's perfect.
So to you is
Perfect
good.
teaching point.
Okay, all right, so for you, it didn't matter really.
No.
So hearing and what else? You have a very sturdy body, like you're an athlete. I think that matters a lot in your dealing with the life.
I think if you're generally in good shape, you know, you get some reasonable amount of exercise on a weekly basis, you know, then if you do have an accident, then you're going to recover that much easier and faster.
Right. Another thing you mentioned to me was in the operation for the recuperation of the right eye, you had the leads fixed in a position that was mostly open, and you had the sensation of dry eye most of the time.
Well, that was when the scleral buckle
When the scleral buckle.
decided the body sometimes tends to reject things that were inserted.
Yes,
So after more than 20 years, the scleral buckle is just a silicone band that
Yeah.
went on the back of the sclera.
yes, Between
And
the
and was
muscles,
kind
yeah.
of sort of tacked, sewn in. I don't know if they used stitches or if they used laser to hold the retina on the back. And then that silicone band, I get a feeling it was only a centimeter wide by like 4 centimeters long or something. That started working its way out, and it was so slow that I didn't notice it. And by the time I noticed it, it had been holding my eyelid open a little bit at night.
you had a
And-
dry cornea.
My cornea dried out, so therefore my cornea isn't clear like it should be,
Has a band, yes.
right? So this one's perfect.
Yeah, that one's perfect, but the other one has a band.
You know why
on
this
top of
one's
it,
perfect?
Because it's closed. It has no sense. I see.
It's plastic. I wore my pig one for you today.
Oh, I see.
I have a prosthetic that covers up. if your eye isn't used, it atrophies and gets smaller. So,
So you have a prosthetic.
so prosthetic that makes it open more.
I see. So that's also a branch of opticianry. Some people become oculists, right? So they can fit prosthetic eyes.
And they can be in place of, if there's no eye, or on top of the existing eye.
No. Because the atrophy. Because the eye that is not functioning, it gets smaller by atrophy.
Is it called a shell? I think they call it a shell, an ocular shell. Not a prosthetic eye is a full blown.
Yeah, depends. Yeah, this could be just a shell.
I don't think they even make a full globe generally.
Not anymore.
They just make semicircles that cover the front.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of them around, they're like, sometimes they're like oval shaped or like triangle shaped, and it's made to fit the remaining space.
Yeah.
In there, it's custom fit.
So what questions do you have for David, considering the description of so many things? Yeah.
Yeah, I cover the whole range from having had sight.
to
I
not
think I
have-
actually had a driver's license until my accident for all of 1 year.
You had it for 1 year.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
so that was the hardest part, to lose that, you know,
Unbelievable.
down to the point where it's just light and dark now. So I've gone the whole thing, as you can see, with 4 different sets of eyeglasses plus over the years.
Right,
So
yes, Alar.
Since you're quite tech savvy, I was wondering if you've tried the Meta glasses.
yep.
And what do
Any
they do?
features that help you?
In certain circumstances, you know, but given you have to carry your phone around already. And as I demonstrated, my phone can read a menu, my metal, and reading those metals is not easy, especially the engraved part. Because there's no contrast, right? Hardly any. So, given that you have to carry your phone and it can do a bunch of stuff. I didn't find the Meta glasses all that useful. Yes, it will read menus, right? It will, the one good thing it did do, is I decided to go to the Smithsonian.
So it read.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
More important than that. So I went to 4 Smithsonians in 2 days. They had great people that will give tours for people that need help. So I went to 4 Smithsonians in 2 days, and hey Meta, take a picture. Hey Meta, take a video, you know, and capturing the video, which actually has audio in it for me, for somebody describing what's on a display, or if the display talks or whatever. Having that, so I can then come show my friends and family, this is what I saw, but I also have an audio thing as well. I think the video capture of the Meta is what the most useful I found. Right, the rest of it, you know, and not having to have your hand full with your phone to look at things. You can just tap the Meta and say, take a picture or read it.
Right.
Yeah, the hands-free is the plus, but the video I think was the best thing.
How about the hearing system?
For what?
Meta has also an ability to be fitted with.
Yeah, it's this recent update.
The new ones.
There's another thing that does, because I know my dad's got a pair of Meta glasses, he was like playing around with it, he was like looking around the house, he's like, Meta, what am I looking at, Meta, what am I looking at? And it was describing everything that was in view.
So I'm-
It does, but it's AI.
It's
So
AI, right.
that dog could be a cat.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah. So I'm glad you brought up this topic, because it was incepted and made for situations such as
Yeah.
David's situation, and now it's taken away in the world to be used by everybody else. But really, all that is invented is to help situations that are extreme. So yes, like you described, maybe the video to, and then how do you resolve the video? Is it read back to you or transcribed back to you, or how do you interpret the video?
Well, first of all, I listened to the audio part of the video.
You do, yes.
Right, so if there's no audio on the video, then you need to upload it and have AI
Transcribe.
try and,
Yeah.
but once again, Meta AI and all these different apps, AI apps, can describe pictures, describe scenes, sort.
I think
Right,
that technology is like improving on itself like almost exponentially at this point, so I feel like in the near future, maybe even like next year, in the next couple months even, it's gonna be like almost perfect.
I hope it's gonna include.
I work in,
the,
I work in
Oh, yeah,
technology, so I like your optimism, but I'm not that optimistic.
Yeah.
You know,
You know more than I do.
it's really difficult to tell the difference between a cat and a dog, and a fox and various other things, and especially if they're moving. So it's going to get better, I agree, but
Slower.
yeah, like the best thing is doing is so that everybody has a self-driving car. So the vision for the car to help avoid dogs, kids,
Obstacles.
people and stuff, that vision for cars is going to help us.
Yeah.
So you have to have the mass reason for doing things generally to make it affordable and available to everybody, and so that they can get their money back for the investment. So probably the vision for the computers is gonna trickle down into these things and help the AI. That's my opinion on how it's gonna
It
improve.
began a long time ago, all those devices that are headborne, by, to help in deficiencies, either hearing or visual impairment and this kind of stuff, but they're never successful in large masses because there are so many impediments. Like one was described by Susan, so she can use her device successfully because she could get used to very well with its in like small ability to let her see at far. As you mentioned, the telescope lets you see, but then you have a very narrow field of view. But then there's people who have deficiency in hearing. There is people who have this deficiency in movement, so the sheer fact that their body is not sufficiently healthy to carry themselves, and then to have something headborne, it's not going to work, So for people with difficulties in whatever forms, you have to be super fit, super young, super able to modulate yourself to super plasticity,
The younger
The
that you
younger-
have an accident or
Right.
something happen to you, the better you can learn to adapt.
Right.
That's why if you're dealing with senior citizens, they may not be able to use
Yeah.
some of this technology particularly well. I try and help some of the blind community that are senior citizens with their iPhones, and
Yes.
sometimes it works and sometimes you just have to keep repeating it every week.
So that's why the rudimentary opticianry is still better and still brings light to their themselves instead of devices and equipment that is super sophisticated and modern rather than lenses,
Yeah, like a senior citizen that loses vision this week is probably not going to be able to listen to their phone at the speed that I do and be as productive.
How do you make distinction in the sounds there? Like to me, it's gonna take a week to listen to what you're listening to.
Yeah, but I've got 30 years or plus of practice on it, right?
4:57 PM. 5 notifications. Gmail. Group. Now.
You got it?
Yeah.
So I got a notification for what?
Time notification.
5 Gmail.
Available, and, yep.
Your hearing's young and good.
Yeah.
What's YouTube?
Do any of you play tennis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so who wants to be the guinea pig?
What's that?
Huh?
Oh, I wanted to hold your. Oh, that's the tennis ball.
Yes.
That is
So who's gonna be the guinea pig?
Not me.
No, we'll pick somebody.
Yes, here,
What? Me?
Hassan.
You play tennis, you said, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a clear spot going this way, right?
Yes, well,
It's a window.
don't hit hard, eh?
It's a window. Flash.
It's not gonna hurt.
Oh, I see, stop.
So we've got at least 3 meters here, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
Say about 4.
so stand as far away as you can over there.
It's not the weight of a tennis ball, it's softer.
Oh, it's really light and it's foamy, squishy soft.
Yeah.
So close your eyes. Your class is gonna see you and to verify that you keep them closed. You can hear it?
Yeah.
You can catch it, okay?
Okay.
When you mark,
Yeah.
it's set, go. Catch it or stop it?
You picked it up over
I
there.
got it.
Picked it up.
Yeah, okay, so. I caught it on the bounce.
Yeah.
So that's how you play blind tennis. Okay,
Thank you.
you're not done yet.
Oh. You're picked now.
Now we stop the hockey puck.
Oh, my gosh. Let me see.
22 gauge steel with 8
You
metal
were
ball
gonna be
bearings.
very soft with that, okay?
It's only a glass window. Since you don't have goalie equipment on, I'll pass on this, but I'll let you feel it. You wanna be goalie?
No.
Even with goalie equipment?
Even with gold, because I don't play hockey.
Yeah. So you can get it.
Now I got to see
Feel
the
the
whole
ball.
hockey
Yeah, it's like
ball.
very spongy and then.
Yeah, the problem with this ball is, it's bigger than usual tennis ball. It's bright colored, right? Yellow or orange?
It's a chartreuse, like a regular tennis ball color.
Neon yellow.
Neon yellow, it's high contrast color kind of thing, so the high contrast is key. The problem with this is, and it's got basically a kids plastic golf ball in the middle with little bead in that hard plastic tennis or golf ball inside the foam ball. So that's why it makes good bounce. It's a little slower moving because it's bigger and lighter. But the problem is if we play outdoors in the summertime, the wind tends to take it because it's lighter.
It's too light.
So you have to play the curve. So following the sound is even more tricky outside.
I see.
Do you want to pass those around for people? Sure.
Thank you.
So, yes, and goaltenders in hockey are totally blindfolded, but their net's only 3 feet tall instead of 4, but still 6 feet. So, and in hockey, there has to be a pass coming after the blue line so that I can hear the puck moving a little bit. To try and get between the puck and the net. So, I'm sure there's gonna be some questions. You already saw the gold medal, that's one of the 3 in the last 3 years I won for hockey, so. I'm one of the best goalies in Canada.
David, the team that plays hockey is composed of men and women, right?
Yep, men and women, we play, the world's largest line hockey tournament is at the old Maple Leaf Gardens, otherwise known as the Ryerson Mattamy Athletic Center on Carlton Street. The third weekend in March every year, and we have 200 players from all over the world. Quite a few come from Finland, obviously Canada, the States, a few from England, some other countries, like 200 blind players, kids, adults, from like 6 years to 86 years, men and women, everybody plays blind hockey.
Right.
Same with sailing, good age range. I started the blind sailing program for Canada. We sail out of Marina Key West, which is basically the foot of Spadina. Have any of you sailed before? No sail. Too bad. Trying to recruit. Sailing experience is helpful. Given that I've sailed in Australia, Scotland, Italy, Japan, and stuff, I need some help that sighted help that actually knows how to sail. So,
I mean, you can still like learn on the job.
Learn on the job.
yeah, and then once you've learned, then you can come and help with me.
What?
You can go learn sailing somewhere at a regular sailing program, and then once you get the basics down, then volunteer to help us.
Good bylaws.
Basic requirements. Yeah,
You need to know the ropes and the sails, right?
yeah, port, starboard, and all that stuff.
Any more questions, people?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thought there'd be more fun. You took my cane.
Yeah, it's Colin, hold on, Colin. I can. Well, thank you, David. I think you were a wealth of information for us. I now hope that you can bring to your practice ideas to help people other than the regular sight people. And I thank you for your interest and spread the word. Good opticians can help and create and craft eye care and eyewear for people of all needs. Okay,
Improving quality of life is at the end,
Yes.
that's what it all turns down to, right? Making somebody's life that much better.
anything else? Last question to you. If you had your side, what kind of performance would you be in? Like what kind of sports would you need?
Good question. The one advantage of being blind is I don't have as much competition as you guys do for sports.
That's nice.
But there is not a lot of people that want to go 80 kilometers an hour when they can't see down a mountain.
That's for sure.
There's a lot less people that are willing to do that and have the ability. So I probably wouldn't have got the chance to sail all of these different countries around the world if I was sighted. I'd be
Once
a
you told
slightly
me,
better than average.
you would say,
amateur athlete.
yeah, but you're saying the same thing. He said, I asked him again this question, and he said, I'd be just an average. Not an average.
Yeah, I do a little more than your average. Most of my colleagues in the IT industry kind of go, well, I don't do 2 sports every weekend, and I don't run and create or charitable organizations like blind sailing in your spare time, and so I do volunteer a ton and do extra things, that's for sure. I guess I probably would have done that, but probably would have been on a much smaller scale. I wouldn't be involved in Blind Sailing International, it would have been more provincial at best, kind of thing. I don't know, I think
It's a little bit of a not super on topic, but like if there was like an auditory like aid on the ski hill, like I just thought it was on a random idea, I've thought about it before, but if you had like some sort of radio emitter that you were given to wear on the ski hill, and then on every obstacle, on every edge of the hill, there was like some kind of thing that would, if you got close to it, it would detect it and it would like make a sound, so you know to stay away from it. Would that work? No.
It's
and
too fast for that.
I hit gates every second.
Yeah.
So my guide could not say anything more than "and turn," because that's how much time we had, and it doesn't matter which event. Slalom gates may only be a meter apart between one and the others, especially for flushes. Flushes are when there's 3 gates straight down the hill, and they're less than 2 meters apart, and racing skis are close to 2 meters. You hit those like every second, so the response time for competitiveness, it wouldn't work. For recreational,
yeah.
For recreational, it might be fast enough. I use two-way radios now just for fun skiing, motorcycle helmet radios. And motorcycle helmet radios are great because they already have figured out how to knock out the wind noise in the microphones. So when you're skiing at speed, you don't get any wind noise, and motorcycle radios will work up to 2 kilometers apart if your buddy is far away. So the only time I've noticed that my guide, there's a delay, is when we're actually sitting side by side on a chairlift, and I can hear a half syllable in the air before I hear it in the air. So that technology is getting close to being able to do what you do.
It's like a proximity sensor, like on the track, or whatever you want to call it. There's on the run. Just like they just line the edges with things that will make noise if they detect that your radio emitter is nearby. Like, let's say within like 8 to 10 feet. And that lake dragon gets louder, the
Yeah.
closer you get.
It gotta be waterproof though. There's so many things like that puck is far from ideal. Because when it's constantly accelerating, all the ball bearings are at the back, not making much sound. And then it goes in the air. It'd be nice to have something constant sound, but we tried electronic pucks and you can see by the dents in the hockey puck.
Alright, that's not gonna work.
Hitting that metal goalpost or the bet boards or the glass. Electronic stuff didn't last, so maybe in that scenario, like I actually created an audio game for the blind called Super Slalom. In computer type, I had one of my master's courses said you had to create a game, so I created an audio game. And I had, you know, a bird in the woods if you were getting too close to the woods. And, you know, some other sounds if you're getting too close, and each gate would make a sound. But as you got faster and faster, it was really tough to go around the gates, even with the gates making sounds. So that's why I know it might work but at fairly slow speeds kind of thing. And once again, it's not gonna tell you about the drop off.
Yes, that's the thing, the reality.
It's not-
Downhill racing, downhill racing,
How steep the hill is.
my guide has seen the bases of my ski over his shoulder before.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you're going fast and the hill drops away, you just keep going into space.
That's the line.
And you don't necessarily know when the landing's gonna be, so you just gotta be ready.
So David, will you get a dog, a guiding dog?
Not likely, not likely.
It's a lot of work, right? With a
Yeah.
dog.
You know, you've got to feed them and take them out, no matter what the weather, you know, and take them to the vets. You know, this goes in the corner at the end of the day. Expensive, great companions, the smartest dogs in the planet are the guide dogs, because they have the most responsibility. There's other helping dogs. If they don't make it as a guide dog, they can do some of the other helping dogs, but guide dogs have the person's life in their hands, so they are the best trained and smartest dogs. So they're great dogs, great companions. But my mobility is still pretty good.
It's
Right.
coming a new technology, it's called Lumen, where they try to embed the technology from Tesla, from the self-driving cars into the eyeglasses. And to help the people to walk around.
Navigate.
That's
So it's
like they like embed LiDAR
called
into their.
Lumen,
LiDAR.
yes.
They put
It
LiDAR
looks like a
sort of
VR,
standard
like it's
environment.
not the very nice meta glasses, but actually. I can send you a link, I can post something new.
Yeah, there's also something called Guidance, which is basically a robot dog.
Yes, the robot dog.
So the betas are in production now. I think by the end of the.
OPT dog, right? Like that's used for the
Well,
the military.
Guidance is its own company, sort of started by a blind guy. So it's a profit company, and so they're close to having a robot guide dog. It's basically like a 5-pound little unit with a handle, and the handle will vibrate, and it'll, with the cameras, help you avoid obstacles. It'll help pull you around.
It's also a carrier of things. It was invented for the military and that it can carry things on accidental terrain. Possibly.
They want
Not
that.
the one that I'm talking about.
No?
That's different.
That's
I read about Lumen, it's the same, the son who created that company and the device, the parents were impaired, so everybody in his family had the problem, so that's how you become creative and innovative, because you really
Fix your needs.
you fix your needs.
Yes.
So when you are detached and you are 100% good vision, sometimes you take it for granted. But actually, when somebody is in need, it makes a big difference. Every single letter on that SNES chart is very important.
You get it.
Any more questions? We need to let you go for the ride.
Thank
Are you
you.
being picked up?
Yeah, and I got 7 minutes. so.
Oh,
Very
gosh.
good that time.
I thought there might be more questions about stuff like.
We only had a half an
I think
hour.
they were just impressed.
I think
They need time to digest. Thank you so much. This was really, really impressive.
You need. Thank you for bringing all the glasses. Chocolate for you.
Oh, that, yeah.
There is a thank you card too. Will you read it?
With my AI.